Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Hello guys, back again with me Faras at Kisco and Mikrotik with me. How is your day? I hope you have a good day and I hope you will be also healthy as well. And as you know, we will continue and discuss our material, CCNA material. Now we are in chapter 2, chapter routing, and subchapter is now we are in NAT. Network address translation. Previously, I tell to you we are configures the NAT or network address translation and static. Now we will discuss about NAT dynamic in generally, and we are going to make a lab at Kisco packet tracer. The lab is just same like NAT at static because but I suggest you to change all device because we are adding the new configuration is the dynamic NAT. Okay, I will tell you in generally first. Dynamic NAT, unlike a static NAT, wherever have it manually defined static mapping between address private and public, dynamic NAT mapping of local address to global address occurs dynamically. This means that router dynamic retrieve address from the global address pool that are not currently available set. Dynamic enter remain in the NAT translation table as long as traffic is changed. Time enter expire after the period and active global IP address can be used for new translation. And the second is overloading NAT or overloading network address translation is the most commonly used NAT method in all network connected to the internet. This is because how it's works and the limitation it can overcome. When you use routers, firewall, internet sharing capability, or any possibility third-party program, all the computer in a home are connected to the internet via one connection. That's when using your NAT overload. Now we will configuration overload NAT, not dynamic NAT, because the difference has so big, and I wanna configure overloading NAT. Dynamic NAT is a configure that transition from IP public to IP from private IP to IP public with more clients by using only one IP public. Not such as like static NAT, we must adding the IP first, the IP public for this one IP private. That's so not good because as you know IPv4 in this world is so thickness. Okay, and that will large and more complex topology with dynamic NAT overload or called PAT. Port address translation can short our timeline in configuration NAT this. Okay, we will go to our this topology. First, you're gonna open this Kisco packet tracer and make topology like me. Now, don't forget it to entering the IP address to our end user such as PC and server. For PC, I give 192 for the server 2222. Okay, now we are heading to our configuration. First, goes to our switch to entering that configuration. Enable configuration terminal interface FA0/3 to our interface heading toward to router. Switch port mode trunk. Don't forget it. After that, you can close this switch CLI goes to our router first, or in NAT we call it router router local, and this right router is router public. Okay, enable configuration terminal interface FA0/0 for our interface goes to the switch. Now shutdown IP address 192.168.10.125F entering the subnet mask. Okay, be focused guys, don't make mistake for entering subnet mask or IP address. Interface FA0/1, now shutdown. Give the IP address is 11.1.255. Okay, done I think. Yes, done. Goes to our second router. Okay, sorry, just comment now. Enable configuration terminal interface FA0/0 to our neighbor router. activate the interface, adding the IP address 11.2, entering the subnet mask. Exit, goes to our last interface, goes to the server, activated the interface, and shut down, and the IP address is 22.1.255, the subnet mask. Okay, done for the entering the IP address. And like at static, we are just wanna adding this NAT overloading at near our switch because it, and in this lab we will adding the access list to, we must adding the access list. Why? Because in this NAT over configuration, we can create access list command that contains permit any and install the access list command on the interface that point to the router public. This is router public, yes. I forgot to change the name. You can remember this router public. And we will install the access list command, which will work to allow our IP address to access network. After that, we can configure NAT overload by entering the access list that we have created earlier in the sort list. Okay, do you get it? First, we're gonna add the standard access list is gonna, okay guys, don't be worried. Access list 1 permit any. Okay, done. And I wanna adding the IP root, same IP root like default root, entering the IP root because IP root have 0 IP address and subnet mask. You can adding this, and don't forget it to adding the, wait a minute, continue again, and adding the IP is at interface router public goes to our router local, this interface, guys. So you can see you entering this after we are adding the default number, we can adding this IP address goes to our this router. In this situation, this IP address fi0/0 is 11.11.2. Okay, adding this to our command 11.11.2, done. And this is it, the configuration of NAT overload. Adding this IP NAT inside source. Don't shorted the text, don't shorted the word of in this lab because previously I make the lab with the shorter text and the configuration not working because the system I think does not synchronize that command, so do not shorten the text. Source, don't forget that list. After this list, the number of will input it access list 1 and interface fa0. This is the changing of our doesn't like at in or out at ACL or access list fa0/1, entering the overload. Okay, done. Wait a minute. Okay, done for our overload. Next we will adding the in or out the package interface fa0/0 first, ip NAT ap NAT fa0/1 is entering the packet inside, exit int ip int fa0/1 ap NAT outside because the package is going outside. Okay, now we are wanna check it this ping to our server. I hope this work. We can adjusting, as you can see on your screen, the configuration firstly is request timeout. Not panic, but I really confused why the configuration is request timeout, but I received message again is the system is replaying message from our server at PC0 is work. How about the PC1? Same. We have received this message from that server. And that's it for NAT overload. Not easy, but really confused because we have so many adding that configuration. I think that's all for this NAT overload video. Thank you guys for your watching. If you have any question, you can ask comment column. Don't shy to ask in the comment column. If I can give you solution, I can give my best solution. And hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe this video. See you next time at Lonkisko and me at Lonkisko and Mikrotik with me Faras. Peace.
Audio Jungle.